Okay, YouTube. A friend of ours was being counseled by her doctor to introduce organ meat into her diet to help with her with the levels of vitamins, iron, nutrients, minerals, and so forth that a lot of people are missing out on in their diet because people just don't eat organ meat anymore. It's just not something. It used to be normal. People always had, when I grew up, we had liver and onions. We always had chicken gizzards and chicken livers and chicken hearts in soup. But we've gotten away from that, and Sarah's concerned about, the level of vitamins and minerals, the iron levels and so forth in her system, but she doesn't like the taste of organ meat, and who can blame her? Liver does not taste really good. So she recently had some cattle slaughtered and taken to the butcher, and the butcher provided her with the liver and the heart and so forth, and she asked me if I could prepare that, freeze dry it, so she can make powder capsules that have liver and heart. So she has organ meat that she is taking into her body, but she's not having to deal with the taste. So I told her sure. We went over today and we picked up, and we got actually quite a bit of organ meat. You can see here in the bowl we've got a lot of liver, and then there's half a heart there. The guy went ahead and he took out the tendons and the valves out of it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this meat, and I didn't feel good about just freeze drying it raw. I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a doctor. I don't know what kind of stuff can be in raw meat that might live through the whole freeze drying process. I didn't want any of that, so I told her I'm going to take the meat and I'm going to prepare it. I'm going to take it and I'll put it in the sous vide so that we can cook it. But being in the sous vide, we're not going to lose any of the vitamins, minerals, nutrients through the cooking process, because it'll all be locked into the meat by being cooked in the bag in the hot water. So first step in the process, I'm going to take the items, we're going to put them in one of these silicone baggies. There you can see that's half of one of the hearts, and after it cooks, I'm going to go ahead and take off this fat, because we know that the fat will not freeze dry well. But here I've got all of this beautiful liver, if you could call it beautiful, and we'll take it and run it through the sous vide for 3 or 4 hours. I'll pull it out before I go to bed tonight, and take it and put it in a Tupperware bin and put it in the fridge. And then tomorrow I will take and arrange it. This is nasty. I will arrange it on trays that will go into the deep freeze, and then I have a batch of food in there now. And then when that is done, I will go ahead and run these hearts and livers through the freeze drying process, and when they're done, we'll take them and run them through the blender, turn it into a nice fine powder for her, and then I'll bring it back to her, and she can go ahead and do her filling up of her of her capsules, and then put the capsules into a jar, and she'll be able to, like I said, have that organ meat, get that nutrition without having to deal with the flavors that she doesn't particularly care for. I will, when I do package it up, I'm going to put it in Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers into the bags, so that, I told her that that's going to be a lot of powder. You're not going to be able to just, use that up real quick. So we'll store it in the Mylar with the oxygen absorbers so that she can make the capsules as needed. So tomorrow, when I take the stuff and start to process it to get it ready for the freeze dryer, we'll pick up on the video and go from there. Live long and freeze dry. We'll see you later. All right, as you can see, we have the livers and the heart here in the sous vide water. The Anovo is going. I've got it set for 2 hours and 15 minutes. It's actually set to 135. It's just taken that long to get the temperature up where it belongs. So we're gonna let that run, and then, like I said before, bed tonight, take it out, pull the pieces out, and I may go ahead and run them through the KitchenAid meat grinder and get it down to like a burger consistency, or I may just cut it in thin slices and lay it on the trays and get it in the freezer. But we'll come back and deal with that tomorrow. Hey freeze dryers, welcome back to the Learn Freeze Dry. Earlier we talked about freezing or cooking the organ meat, the livers and the heart from the beef that a friend of ours had processed, and she's looking to get organ meat into her diet without having to actually eat the stuff. So we took and we placed the organ meat into a silicone bag, and we put it into the sous vide, and we cooked it at 140 degrees for 2.5 hours, and this is what we've come up with. Yeah, and not exactly the most pleasant thing to look at. Running it through the grinder, I thought about filming that, but it was just too disgusting. So what we have here, you see the thicker stuff here on the top, it looks more like hamburger. That's the heart. The heart muscle is solid. It was straining the motor on that mixer. The stand mixer in the kitchen that I used to grind the meat up. The liver went through it like a herd of turtles. I mean, just brown yuck. And we were left with this thick, kind of yucky looking slurry. But the amount of nutrients and minerals and so forth and vitamins in this stuff is ridiculous. So what we're going to do now is we're going to place it on the trays and get it ready to go into the freeze dryer. I have made my puppy powder. I've got a video on that you can check out if you'd like, which is a dog food supplement that I put a protein, usually livers, and then I put pumpkin and sweet potato and kale and spinach and strawberry tops and just all kinds of things just to add some more nutrition to their kibble food that they eat. We have good results with that. The shedding and so forth is down. But in this case, she's looking to get these vitamins and minerals into her system to help with her health. And when she asked if I would be interested in doing that for them, I jumped on her. I'm like, that's a great idea. I'm sure that some of you guys out in the audience here would be interested in possibly doing this for yourselves. But here we go. We've got heart and liver, and we put it on the tray. It's maybe 3/8 to 1/2 inch thick. I don't know how many trays we'll get out of it, but I'll probably have to do 3 or 4 runs of this mixture for her because of the amount of heart and liver that she actually sent home with me today. It was kind of shocking. I thought when I went over there that she was going to give me a plastic bag or a piece of Tupperware that had a big hunk of beef liver in it, but no, she had the wrapped packages that came from the butcher, already cut up and ready to go. Actually, some of it was kind of frozen. I had to wait for it to thaw out a little bit before I dropped it in the sous vide and got it going for her. So we're going to have 2 trays right here. I'm not going to actually run this until I have 5 full trays. So tomorrow I'll be doing another run with the sous vide and some more liver and heart. And then when it's done, we'll put it through the Ninja, chop it all up, and get it into a powdered form that she can take and put into capsules, and then take them as a supplement to her diet. And I'm sure that the benefits of the B vitamins, the A vitamins, the iron, the magnesium, the copper, the zinc, all the good stuff that's in the organ meat are really going to help with her in her health concerns. Not so much there's something wrong, but she just wants to make things better. And she's heard that organ meat is good for you, but she doesn't like the way it tastes. I don't know a whole lot of people that do. And so this is going to be something that she's going to try out. And after I get the powder to her and she's used it for a while, I'll get back with her and see what she thinks. And if there's she's got some comments to make, I'll bring that to you in a later video. But hey, leave a comment, leave a like, Subscribe if you would. I'm trying to get up to 500 subscribers. Don't forget to check out the Blue Alpine link down in the comments. You might consider that you might be spending $1 gazillion on supplements that you could be making yourself, along with using your freeze dryer to build up food storage of your own, long-term food storage, food security, and secure your future. You don't have to worry about depending on other people in times of need. You've taken care of it yourself. It's not that big an investment, and the peeps there are great. We'll get this into the freezer. We'll do this all again tomorrow until I get 5 trays, and then when we get ready to pop it into the freeze dryer, we'll come back and I'll let you in on that action too. Until then, folks, live long and freeze dry. We'll catch you in the next one. Okay, YouTube, welcome back to Live Long and Freeze Dry. Again, we're working on the organ meats that we're going to freeze dry for Sarah. I've got the Blue Alpine. I put it in, basically you can go in and manually get the hardware going. What I did was I turned the refrigeration on for about 10 minutes, dropped the temperature down, and so now that the chamber is about, I don't know, 15, 20 below zero, I can take the trays of the livers and heart that Sarah gave us on Saturday, and we will put them into the rack, and then we'll get this thing set to run on a meat mode. Now I'm going to cut the freezing time down, because they've been in the refrigerator for 8 hours, and 2 of the trays have been in overnight. So this is saying 9 hours of freeze time and 22 hours of dry time. I'm going to go ahead and continue. It's going to wait for the condenser compressor to cycle down a little bit, because turning it on and turning it off and powering it back up can be a little bit rough on it. It takes a few minutes, but there we go. I'm going to go ahead and reduce our freeze time down to about, we'll take it down to 4 hours. So at 9 o'clock tonight, it will go into its drying cycle, and then tomorrow around 7 p.m. it should be done. We can take it on out and put the stuff into the Ninja, grind it down into a powder, and then bag it up in Mylar so that Sarah can take and put it into capsules, and she can get the benefits of eating organ meat without having to put up with the taste that she doesn't care for. And she's going to let us know what kind of health benefit she seems like she gets from it, and when she tells me, I'll pass it on to you. So we'll catch up with you in a bit, actually tomorrow sometime, when this thing is done. Until then, live long and freeze dry. Hey YouTube, it's 4:30, and I came down to check the Blue Alpine. We've got the hearts and livers in there for Sarah, and we've got our temperature is up to 116.8, and our mTORs are way down. We're down at 811. We've got a total elapsed time of 20 hours and 8 minutes that this puppy's been running. I am going to go ahead and open this up, and we're going to check and see if our product is ready to process. We're doing the beef heart and beef liver that Sarah's going to take and put into capsules so that she can get the health benefits of the vitamins and minerals and so forth that are in the organ meats into her diet, without having to suffer through the flavor of the organ meats that most of us are just not really into. So go ahead and set that thing to defrost. Yeah, now that's a little bit quieter. Okay, so here we've got it. 5 trays of hearts and livers. And we're going to go ahead and get them into the Ninja and get them processed up so that she can fill capsules and use this as a dietary supplement. So we got the Ninja all cleaned up and ready to go. You can see this stuff is just like dry cardboard, breaks up nice and easy. Boy, you can smell that liver in there. It's got a real, almost like an iron smell to it. Look at how easy that breaks up. This might get a little loud. I'm going to apologize in advance. It's too loud. Now, one of the things about the Blue Alpine freeze dryer is that the refrigerant that the guys use over there is not a Freon. The Blue Alpine freeze dryers use propane. And a buddy of mine is an HVAC tech. His name's Scott. We used to do a lot of work together. And Scott's informed me that a lot of these air conditioners and so forth are moving away from the Freon, and they're all going to propane. You see how just busted up into a nice fine powder. Let's see if we can get a Mylar bag here and start filling bags up for her. Propane, getting back to the old Blue Alpine there. Propane is, I guess it's a lot more environmentally friendly, and it's a lot less expensive than the Freon options that are out there. You know, for years now they've been saying that Freon does something to the ozone, blah, blah, blah. I've always been, you know, a little bit skeptical about the whole, what humans are doing is ruining the planet, blah, blah. Somebody's always got some ulterior motive for pushing their whole, you know, environmental agendas. Wow, that's a lot. And anyway, so Blue Alpine's been using the propane in their freeze dryers, and it's more efficient. It gives you a quicker and more thorough dry than the other more popular, more well-known freeze drying options like the Harvest Right and the Stay Fresh. And I'm not saying that they're not good. I mean, like I said, I was telling you about that gal, the Freeze Dry Society. She's got a Harvest Right and she just loves it. And you know, if I'd have gone down that road, I'd probably love my Harvest Right. But I'm into the Blue Alpine thing. Here we go. I'm going to crush some more up here. So you can see the process of getting the heart and livers from the freeze-dried slurry down into the powdered form is actually really quick and really easy. Although my wife will not use our Ninja on anything else now that she's seen what I've put through this. So I've got one, this is a quart bag, and it is full. And I'm going to see second quart bag and see what we get in there. So maybe I'll be able to get all of this into 2 bags. So she'll be able to take this, and I guess she was ordering some capsules and a filler tray so that she can make the supplement capsules for herself. We got one about a year ago. The boy wanted to see about getting some more vegetables into his diet, but can't hardly stand to eat them, so we took a bunch of broccoli and cauliflower and beets and everything and ran them through that, and we made some capsules for him. It's not as easy as you would think to fill the dang thing. So hold on, we're gonna go crush some more. So there you have it. In just a real short time, we've been able to take 5 trays of freeze-dried heart and liver and fill up 2 bags with the powder that Sarah can take and get all the benefits from from taking organ meat into your diet and benefiting that way from it. Let me open up these oxygen absorbers. Put an oxygen absorber into each bag. Set that over here. Shake this down a little more. It does compact really well. Then we'll take and run the seal over, trying to squeeze out any air that might still be in there. Same thing with this bag. Get as much closed as possible, squeeze out the air. And then, hey, if you buy one of these Blue Alpine units, it comes with this sealer here, where you just take your Mylar bag, set it on the tray, pull it down, you can hear it humming there maybe, and it puts a heated seal across the top. So it's not going to draw any air, and the oxygen absorber that's in there will absorb any air that was, in tiny pockets, tiny spaces with the food. So we set that aside for. We will get these 2 bags. I'm gonna weigh that and see. So we had a lot of product there, and let's set it to grams. Okay. There we go. This scale's about to drive me to drink. I think maybe I need new batteries. I'll take it off of there. So that's 18.46 ounces. You definitely need new batteries. And this one is 16.8 ounces. So she's got quite a bit of powder to make into capsules for an organ meat dietary supplement that she'll take in capsule form. You've seen the process. It's not hard to do. I mean, I can't imagine what you would pay for this amount of a dietary supplement to give you all of the magnesium, the iron, the copper, the zinc, the vitamin A, and all the other vitamins that go with it. But I'm thinking, if this is something that, you know, you're concerned with as far as your dietary intake and your ability to get all of the nutrients and the minerals that your body needs to stay healthy, and add to that the fact that you can, you know, make long-term food storage, stop throwing away leftovers, especially, you know, you make leftovers. When you cook a lot of what you like. But then, you know, after 2 days, you know, like, I don't want to have those leftovers again. What do? You throw them on a tray, you stick them in the freezer. When you get 5 trays, you throw them in your Blue Alpine, you run it through the process, and then you put it in a Mylar bag, and a year, 2 years, 10 years, 15, 20 years down the road, you're like, remember the chicken and dumplings we had that day? Oh, it was so good. Hey, I got some downstairs in a bag. I'm going to go get it. So we've gone through the process. We've prepared the heart and the livers. We freeze-dried them. We processed them through the Ninja, and we bagged them up. I'm going to get these off to Sarah later this week, and when she lets me know what she thinks of the product, I will let you guys know. If you're interested in getting your own freeze dryer, setting up to have your own food supply security, having tubs and bins and jars, and I mean, look at this. How many times you go to the store, you buy some strawberries, you eat some, and then you look back in, they're all yuck, and you throw them away. Not me. I take them when they're still fresh, and I freeze dry them, and I put them up. And then when I want them, if I want them, just snacking on these things is crazy good. But if I want them regular, just add a little water, let them sit, rehydrate. Same with the blueberries. Been doing the apples because I got into this thing where I'm starting to make jams. And you can go out and buy the pectin packs at Walmart or wherever that you use to make the jam. Well, apple, that's where the pectin comes from. So you're cutting out whatever chemicals and preservatives that the companies are adding to the packets, and you're just using the apple and you get the same product. So we've got that, you know. Then we've got my banana chips, which I absolutely love to have. A buddy of mine goes down, does mission trips in, I think it's El Salvador or someplace. He brings me back coffee from there. I can't eat it or drink it all fast enough. So what do? I fill my coffee jar, and then I take the rest, and I vacuum seal it, and I put it up for storage. I've got these bins here that's got meals, meats, cheese, eggs, rice, name it. If you want food security, you want, you know, in the back of your mind that you're not worried about stuff that might go on, check out the link, check out the website. If you've got questions, drop those fellas a message. They have a contact us button where you can ask them questions. These guys are super fast about getting back with you and answering any question you have. I called them or texted them the other day and said, hey, I'm going to make sourdough starter and I'm going to freeze dry it, but I want to make sure I keep all of the activity of that the bacteria in that starter. What could be the best settings for me? And they lined it out. They said, you know, do it on delicate, lower the tray temperature to 85 degrees, and run it that way, and you should get the best results possible. So if you want a great product that can help to secure your food situation for the future in case of emergency, or even for camping or travel or whatever, check out my boys over at Blue Alpine and get the information, make a wise decision, and you might find that decision is to set yourself up to live long and freeze dry. Thank you so much for showing up, and leave a like, comment, subscribe, share. Anything you can do to help me get up to 500 subscribers will be much appreciated. And with that, I will leave you guys. Be well, be safe, and live long and freeze dry.